Start this week's discussion with, and also introduce to you my panel for this week. You can stay with us for this discussion. Remember to send us a message via Facebook or Twitter or via WhatsApp. In a bit I'll announce the numbers to you, but we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Day. I'm gonna make most of it. It's a beautiful day, a day to share with you. You'll make my world go round. Yeah, yeah. It's really got me saying, let's go.
NASCO, bring home happiness.
And you're welcome to the Voters Diary. Thank you for staying with us. So today we'll start our discussion on regions, and our focus is on the Bono Ahafo. The Bono East and the Ahafo region, because now there's a division of that region. It used to be Brong Ahafo region, divided into Bono Ahafo and Bono East region. We'll be looking at that and the impact or the implications around that region, those three regions, for the 2020 general elections, parliamentary and presidential elections. And I have two guys who will help us understand the issues around these three key regions. These two gentlemen are actually from that part of the country, those three regions. So it's just the right people to have this conversation with. So what am I talking about? Kojo Akoto Boateng, he's been with me from day one for the Voters Diary. He's actually from Nkranza, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when we did the health and education discussions, he was all over the region showing us all kinds of things, telling us what part is this, which, all that. And so Kojo will be part of this discussion on the Bono. And there's another gentleman I'm introducing to you today. He was with us at a point for the COVID-19 discussions, but he's not really joined us yet for the Voters Diary discussions. But today he's joining us because he also has a key role he can play in this discussion, having coming from there, and also have covered extensively that region on a day-to-day basis. Kojo Ajiman, he's also with the news team. Kojo joins us for this week for the discussion. Kojo, welcome.
Thank you very much.
You are from Dema, right?
Dema.
Which side is that?
It's in the Tano South constituency.
Okay.
It's now in the Ahafo region.
Okay, so you moved to the Ahafo and you moved to which side?
Bono East.
Bono East, okay.
With one feet in the Bono region.
Okay, so I will be in between for the Bono. So you guys...
You will be from Sunyani West.
Is that the reason why you're pushing me to Sunyani West?
Well, the Sam Bennett family are from Sunyani West,
yes,
and they are fair people.
Okay.
They are very rich and enterprising as well.
Oh, lovely.
So maybe
I fit in perfectly. I'm rich, I'm enterprising, I'm fair, I'm beautiful.
So you fit in.
I think it's a good place you put me, so I'll take it. So gentlemen, welcome and thank you so much for joining me. So we'll start the discussion around your regions because of a lot of things around the region happening now. We've seen that all the major candidates have been thronging into that region over the past weeks, having quite some extensive discussions with key players and residents and constituents in that region as well. I think we should start with the region proper, from the creation, the division of the three at this point, and then we'll look at other matters arising. So I'll start with you, Kojo Demahini. So give us a bit of history of this region now becoming three regions. But let's start from the beginning, when it was Brong Ahafo region.
Yeah. So the Brong Ahafo region was originally part of the Ashanti region. So even pre-colonial days or colonial days, it was part of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Okay.
Yes. So before we had independence, some chiefs, some traditional authorities, some powerful people, influential people in the region said that no, we need to assert our dominance, our authority, and cede from the Ashanti Kingdom. So therefore, this birthed what we call the Bono Chempim. Bono Enchempim. So
well, what's the meaning of Enchempim?
So sort of let's create a region of our own. Bono Fodina, all of us, Yenchimpe, Bono Chempim. So they sort of came together, spearheaded by the Doma chief and then the Techiman chief. Doma chief Nana Ajimambedu the first, and then the Techiman chief Nana Amiel Ekumfi. So this will tell you why some areas in the region will even vote for a certain party. And then we also had many of the Ahafo chiefs who were pro-UP, who said that no, it is not time for us to have a region of our own. So therefore, there were people who were for and against the creation of the Bono region. Ghana gained independence. Prior to the independence, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah bought into the idea of the creation of the Bono region. Therefore, in 1959, he creates the Bono Ahafo region. So people who were for the creation obviously towards the CPP tradition.
Because what they wanted,
yes,
somebody had
you've
given
given us what we want.
So
spearheaded by the Techiman and then the Doma chiefs. They fell in love with the idea. Kwame Nkrumah gave them what they wanted. But some of the Ahafo chiefs, like the Bichemine, and then Sunyane Hine, and then the Mim Goso Hine, Nana Fusuji, all these chiefs were back then were not really happy with their creation, because mind you, because of the Ashanti dominance, they paid homage to the Ashanti Hine at the time. So because of that allegiance, they didn't want to be on their own.
So they still wanted to stay with the
Ashanti Kingdom.
But there, if you can quickly show us in the terms of mapping, I don't know where the demarcation, where they sit there.
So
yes, please.
So the demarcation, the southern part of the Bono Ahafo region will share a boundary with the Ashanti region. So when you get to Tepa or Bichim Junction, that's where the Bono Ahafo region starts. And then to the western side, around the Bebieni to Doma areas, Bebieni Goso Doma areas, it shares boundary with the western region, and at some point with Ivory Coast.
Yeah, so it shares a boundary with the Ivory Coast. There's a black water that separates. So you go to the Bui area, the Black Water, Bui Dam. It also separates the Bono region from the Savannah region. So it shares a boundary with the Savannah. It will also share a boundary with part of the northern region, because Gonja East comes down to the Pru and the Sini areas, and it shares a boundary with them. And then the Volta Lake separates the Bono region from the Volta region. So technically it also shares a boundary with if you come down south, they are part of the eastern region that even connects to the Sini areas and then Ashanti region. So it's about the central region of Ghana, with a lot of people, with a lot of urban settlements and also rural settlements, with a lot of economic activity. And traditionally, like Kojo explained, a lot of it, or almost all of it, was also part of Asante. So traditionally, it also sees itself as a part of the Asante region.
In fact, currently we have some chiefs in the Bono Ahafo region that pay homage to the Asante Hine. So you go to places like Bichim, Nana Fusuji Abo pays homage to the Asante.
So were they like siblings or all that, or they were brought together based on conquest or you know?
Based on conquest. So do you know the Asante wars and all that? Sort of they were conquering states.
Okay.
So they conquered about 80% of the Bono Ahafo region.
Okay.
Pre-colonial days.
Okay.
So at a point, civilization grew, and then a lot more people moved in the area, and they said, no, this time we need to be on our own. So if you look at the name Bono and then Ahafo, the Bonos are the indigens, the typical indigens of the area. They speak the Bono language. Yes, and then the Ahafos are the Asante people. So you go to areas like Bechem, Goso, Tepa, Yamfu. All these places are Ahafo people. They are Asante people. They have dominated that part of the Bono Ahafo region.
Okay, interesting.
That's the makeup of the traditional makeup there.
So you got to the point where you said some of the chiefs who wanted the equation, they got what they wanted and then left Nkrumah for that. And then the other side who didn't get it, I think you got to that point.
Yeah. So the other side who didn't
well, they didn't want
because traditionally they see themselves to be Asantes. So what they want is, we still want to be part of the Ashanti kingdom, because you know those days they were one of the powerful kingdoms we had, so they wanted to be a part. But then the two chiefs that spearheaded the separation, they did the backroom conversation. I mean, spoke to a lot of traditional areas. So you go to Techiman, we have Nana Amia Kunfi there. We go to Doma, we have Nana Ajiman Bedu the first. They spearheaded that. They said, no, let's form something. So they bet the Bono Champion Federation. That was the conversation engine, the advocacy engine for the creation of the Bono Ahafo region. And Kwame Nkrumah bought into the idea. Mind you, at the time he was the secretary of the UGCC. He was moving around the country, so he sort of listened to, got information or snippet of information of what people really needed at the time. So when he became the CPP flag bearer, he said, oh, then when if you are looking for that, then let me give it to you. And in 1959, there was a law passed, and then they formed the Bono Ahafo region.
Okay.
So if you go to the northern part of the Bono Ahafo region, you find a lot more indigenes of Bono, people from the Bono Manso kingdom.
Okay.
They see themselves as the original landowners of the Bono Ahafo region. That is from Techiman, in Kransa,
so like they see themselves as the original. Okay, you them, what do you see yourself?
We are normally with the Ashanti kingdom.
Everybody is close to the Ahafo area.
Exactly.
So you guys didn't want to, but you now you're happy that you got
well, now we have a region of our own.
Okay, so in Kranza and the likes, they see themselves more
of the Bono people. And then you move to the western part. We still have the Doma, Hinko areas. We have Abuabo number 1, Abuabo number 2. We also have places like Brekum. They are also Bono, typical Bono area. So they also see themselves as landowners. Yes. And then you come to the eastern side. The eastern side let me describe the eastern side as basically a settler community. Because of the black voter, we had a lot more people from the Volta region coming to settle along for fishing activities there. And then because of the Gonja, Nanumba, Kukumba, wars, we had a lot more people settling along that stretch. That's how come you have people in Banda, Sine, Atebubu, Mountain. You have a certain type trend of voting pattern in that region. And then when you come to the Ahafo area, in fact, when you go to Ahafo, as we speak now, they feel a part of the Ashanti kingdom. They celebrate the Akosidai Kese. They feel that yes, we are Ashantis. It is just political demarcation that is separating us. So I mean, so the Goso, Hwidiem, Mem, Bechem, Dema, Techimentia areas, Duay and Kwanta Tanoso, these areas will form part of the Ahafo area. They feel that they are Ashantis and they need to be part of the. I left out the Amfo. I need to be part of the Ashanti Kingdom. And then you come to the central part of the region. That is the Sunyani areas. So that area is more of a cosmopolitan area because it's the administrative capital. So you find a lot more people who are not really indigents, who have come to settle there because of administrative
work.
Typical
cosmopolitan.
Yes, that's where you come from. The typical cosmopolitan.
Where you guys placed me?
Yes,
okay.
the typical cosmopolitan area because it's the administrative capital of the region. Back then, when it was not demarcated to the Bono East, Bono, and then Ahafo region, there you find more Akans, Evers, and then people from the northern tribe settled there.
Okay, so that's a comprehensive description of the area, the people, and all that. Okay, so now can we break it down and look at the settlers? You talked about the kind of people, settlers we've seen, and what do they do in terms of occupation in general? These various areas.
Well, if you go to the Bono area, and I wanted to pitch in something before we move on. When the Techiman chief and the Techiman people wanted to break away and get their villages back from the Asante way back before independence. It's on record that Dr. J.B. Dankwa was their lawyer.
Okay.
Right. Now, the Techiman people supported the CPP. You know, the NLM was more Ashanti biased, so they supported the CPP, expecting that the CPP would immediately give them their region after the independence, but they didn't get it, so they were a bit unhappy till 1959.
The capital of the Bono Ahafo region to be in Techiman.
Till 1959 that they got the new region formed. So that's just a bit to add to what Kojo said. Now let's come to the region. What do the people in the region basically do? They are into agribusiness and agric. So if you look at the statistics, between 70 to 80% of the people really depend on agric or something agri-related to survive. If you go to the urban areas, you'll find the merchants, the timber merchants, the traders, and the business people. But in a lot of the rural areas, it's just farming. And all the towns and villages right around the big urban centers also do farming, and the urban centers end up being market areas. For example, Techiman. Techiman is a big market area. You go there every market day, there is action happening. If you go to Nkranza, every Tuesday there's a market day. You go to all the big towns and they have market days and a structure in place to promote the goods that they produce from their farm. So the BA, that is Bono Ahafo, Bono East, basically is like that. If you look at the region and you try to break it into the three, Ahafo is closer to Ashanti region. In fact, at a point, when the Ashanti region telephone code was 051, I think it was 051, Gosso, Tepa, and all those areas were also 051. Even though they were in the BA, they had the Ashanti code because they are very close in proximity to Ashanti region. So a lot of the planning around the area affects them too. And then you get to Bechim, which is a district capital. You get to Biankanta, which is a district capital. Then you move to Sunyani, which is also a capital. Right, those places are growing and have become big towns and big cities. In fact, we can even call them cities because they are now really big. And then you get to the Techiman area, then you go to Nkranza, also growing. Now from Ashanti region to Techiman, you go to Nkinkanso and Akumadan. Those are also known agric towns, and they're also in the Ashanti region, even though sometimes people mistake them to be in the Bono Ahafo region because they're closer to Techiman. You go to Kintampo, it's also a hub for agric. Big market days at Kintampo. A lot of action happens there.
So it's Kintampo, not Kintampo.
No, it's Kintampo. Kintampo. You understand? So, and then you go to the Doma areas, the Brekum areas, they all have economic activity happening. And the people in the Bono region also travel a lot. They travel a lot to Abuchi. So if you look at the migration patterns in the country,
right?
If you look at the migration patterns in the country, you realize that there are a lot of people who go there. It's also fueled a lot of other things, even including football. Because if you look at football, at least there are about 3 clubs in the Ghana Premier League.
And we have some of our international players like Kevin Prince Boateng is from the area.
Asamoah Gyan, all those people.
Kwesi Appiah, former Blaster coach.
Yeah.
So
Sadiq Adams.
Football is a big thing there.
Football is a big thing.
Do we know how this came about, this football, you know, towing towards the, and then having quite great names from your side?
I've not studied a lot about the history of football, but I will make an informed guess. People in the Bono region traveled a lot, especially to Germany. And you know, football made in Germany and the influences.
I see.
And then the businessmen and the business people in the region would also invest. So if you look at people like the Bechem chief, he's the key guy behind Bechem United. If you go to Sunnah, the Doma chief is also behind. If you go to Sunnah, the big business families, even the Sam Bennett family, regularly supports football clubs to grow. The Coronation Park is one of the very popular parks, and it's also sad that knowing that the BA is one of the hubs for football and they love football.
The Coronation
Various promises by governments to build them ultra-modern stadia have not materialized. If you look into the old manifestos, you realize that they've been promised stadia, which didn't materialize.
In fact, I think in Kufuor's time, 2008, a land was secured at Insuatre. That's when you're moving from Sunyani to Brekum. But then we didn't know what became of it. I mean, about 100 hectares of land at around Insuatre. That place is a flat land, so they really, when they did the assessment, that was where it was very suitable for a football field, but then it didn't materialize.
Until date, you don't have any.
We don't have any. I mean, we don't
with
have.
All
There's
the
only
people
a Sunyani
and Co coming from.
Well, I think
no AstroTech from them.
I think they should come on board now. They should come on board now and help.
Okay. And another thing that caught my attention from what you guys are saying about seeing quite a number of them also traveling abroad. When did that trend start? What happened? I mean, because we know that Shanties do that a lot. I don't know whether because of the connection.
Well, in the BA, from all the studies that IOM has done and our local authorities have also done, realize that people from the BA would move from Bono through the Sahara Desert to Libya, and move on into Europe.
A part of the Libya trade.
Move on into Europe. In fact, and the trend is that when you manage to go and you settle, you come pick someone else, take the person away. So the big Bono towns and cities are built with agric money and finances brought in from abroad. For example, my uncles. So my mom's siblings, the two after him are twins. One of them is in Germany. Went through the desert to Libya, then Libya to Germany. Then when you get there, the family, everybody tries to pitch in to support you. So you see that in certain families, when there are conflicts, it's when they've supported somebody to go and the person didn't come back to help.
To take the others.
But then that was a trend.
Interesting.
At a point too, it became a bit obvious that the youth were aspiring for more, and what they were getting alone in the region wasn't enough, because it's an agrarian economy. You harvest, you get ball cash. And you want to do something better for your life. And usually the ball cash they get is what they travel with and go abroad. So that also explains why.
So when you go to places like Italy, you find a lot of people from the Bono region. So
your countries are Italy and Germany.
And recently United States.
Oh, you do in America.
There used to be a Libya station in Nkranza.
Really?
Yes, that's where contractors will come. You pay them, they will take you to Libya.
The Libya station.
But is it still a big thing traveling abroad, or now?
It's not gone yet.
It's not gone, but it's really
generally people still aspire to go abroad because they've seen the results of the remittances people have brought in, and over the years too, agric, which is the mainstay, has still not developed the development they are, has still not given them the development they are looking for. For example, about 10, 15, 20 years ago, various state institutions and various national systems were used to push for the cashew industry. So a lot of people went into cashew. Some of them stopped doing their regular stuff, the yam, and went into cashew big time. But along the lines, we realized that even though people were being encouraged to go in, there was no proper structure governing the cashew industry. So now people are unhappy with the returns they are getting because they could have earned more. And if you've looked at the trends, various parties have also promised stuff to do with cashew. 2016 NDC elections manifesto, they said they were going to set up a cashew development board. This time they've also mentioned it. 2016 MPP also said that when they come, they will see to the needs of the region when it comes to agric and related matters. They've now set up the Tree Crop Development Authority, which will look at cashew.
Yeah.
If you look at the irrigation projects that we've invested in the Bono region since independence, 8 major irrigation projects that can turn their lives around, all of them are dysfunctional. 8 major irrigation projects, all of them are dysfunctional. So you piece all these things.
being the food basket.
Yes, and if we did those,
it's really sad. The only cash crop that I would say has had a direct impact on the people is cocoa, and that is around the Ahafo areas, and then timber around Emim. Apart from that, you wouldn't say the cash crops like cashew have really given them anything that they can, boast of. Looking at cocoa, people in the Ahafo region alone, there are over 100,000 cocoa farmers. That's why cocoa is very key. It's going to be key in this election.
100,000
Yes,
cocoa
Vivian.
farmers. Wow.
Yes, Vivian. And they look at the roads from the cocoa farms to the urban centers.
Not good enough?
Not good enough. They look at the returns they make on cocoa, not good enough. So that's how come we are seeing today.
So that's quite an increase over the period by successive governments in the producer price of cocoa. The figures are still not good enough for the farmers?
well, it's not just the figures. So for the figures now, it's good.
It's good.
They are earning something better than they used to earn. But if you look at the Cocoa Roads project, which is a key thing for the people in the Bono region, there are 229 Cocoa Road projects in the whole country, right? Ashanti region was to get 47, Bono Ahafo 43, Central 32, Eastern 46, Western 39, Volta 27. So aside Ashanti and Eastern, the Bono Ahafo was supposed to benefit from the most cocoa roads, right? Now that project was abandoned. We said we were going to audit the project. We couldn't audit the project and was abandoned. And these cocoa roads are key roads that run through a lot of the towns, including my village. So if you say cocoa is key to the region, if you say agric is key to the region, we've left the irrigation projects, the 8 key irrigation projects to rot. Cocoa roads have not been executed and delivered to the people like it has to be done, right? And a few other things. So that is really one big challenge of the people. You can give us a good producer price, fine. But if our roads are not great enough for us to be able to move about easily, even though you are giving us a good producer price, you've not solved some of our key problems. And cocoa is also key to the economy of Ghana, same as cashew. Now the cocoa roads were also going to support the cashew industry because they are all in the same enclave. Cashew, as projected, could even earn us more money than cocoa. But we've not really, we've spoken about cashew for years, and we are now seeing stuff being put in place with the formation of the Tree Crop Development Authority, and Mahama also saying that we do the cocoa board. But the people expect those things to be fact-tracked, and they expect to see the returns as soon as possible because they've been promised these over 2 decades.
For so long. Okay, guys, hang on. Could you hang on with your thoughts? I need to quickly take a break. When we come back, I'll let you wrap up on this. We'll also look at the various constituencies in these 3 regions, key personalities around these 3 regions, and then we'll move to the election mode proper and find out why the major political parties have been going there over this period, at least over the past 2 weeks. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Grandma really knows how to take care of her family. Now, it's my turn. And like her, I only want the freshest food. I'm glad there's Samsung Twin Cooling Refrigerator, which retains 70% humidity, extending freshness up to 2 times longer. And with extended freshness, I can extend my care for my family.
And you're welcome back to the Voters Diary. Thank you so much for making time to join us for today's edition. We're talking about regions for today and moving into other days as we go on. And today we're starting with the 3 regions, so the Bono East, Bono, and then Ahafo region. If you come from any of these regions, you can send us a message. What do you think in terms of politics, how the region has been, the major political parties, the things they had promised, and etc. You can send us a message via Facebook or Twitter. Remember to add the hashtag Voters Diary, or you can send us a message via WhatsApp on the numbers that are currently on your screen. So I have 2 gentlemen. They themselves are from that part of the country. I have Kojo Ajiman as well as Kojo Akototu. Okay, Kojo is a day name, so I'll let it go. So Kojo, you are wrapping up on something, then we'll look at the various constituencies in the region.
So I was just trying to add a little bit of explanation to why we have settler communities in the Bono Ahafo region. So I spoke of the fishing community around the Sine area. When you come to the Ahafo area too, we have a lot of settler communities who have come to work on cocoa farms.
And where are they coming from?
The northern region, and we also have the Volta region.
Okay.
And then you move to the Doma areas. There's a huge poultry industry there, and they've also come to settle there to work on their poultry farms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a huge
and talking about the poultry industry, there were promises made for the people in the Bono region. For example, let me read the 2016 NPP manifesto, right? Now, NDC manifesto, that's what have happened. They said they will set up a cashew development board in the Bono region, right? They will support improvement of roads in the Bono region to Kintampo Falls. They mentioned other roads and they mentioned other things. And a lot of the parties also mentioned that they will support agric, including the poultry industry, because it's quite big. In fact, historically, one of the richest women ever to have come from the Bono region was into producing egg crates from waste paper.
How is that?
Yes, she's from Sunyani West.
Sunyani West.
I've forgotten the name, but she's from Sunyani West.
I see.
Producing egg crates from waste paper.
Well,
this is, I think, before I was born. Now, if you go into the news right now and you read what poultry farmers are saying about their plight, let me give you an example of a story. Ghanaian poultry farmers seeking government support. This is 5th June 2020.
Okay.
Poultry farmers in Ghana are pushing the government to take a bold decision to regulate the importation of frozen and other finished poultry goods. And as at then, they said they had 500,000 crates of eggs on the verge of spoiling, even though players in the sector have slashed their prices by almost 20%. And the story goes on to list the plight of the poultry farmer. And poultry is also big in the Bono region.
Okay.
But all the promises, because we're made to understand that the irrigation projects would produce more feed, right? More maize, more feed. We're made to understand that roads will be constructed to link to these areas. We're made to understand that the government will protect the industry. But if you check what is happening, we are still importing a lot of dead birds into this country. People are even still importing eggs into this country. And all those things. So if you say it's a food basket and you support them and their economy to grow, why should these things be repeating themselves when every election year we promise them that we'll give you the support? So that's also one of the key problems in that area.
Okay, guys, let's continue to look at the demarcation of the regions, those 3 regions, and start with the constituencies. I think we can do the key constituencies around these 3 regions.
So the southern part of the Bono Ahafo region, the then Bono Ahafo region, was carved to become the Ahafo region now. Mind you, pre-colonial days, they felt that they were part of the Ashantis. So, I mean, it was created for them. Bechem and then Goso were lobbying for the regional capital, and then Goso had it. So we have Goso as the regional capital. It has towns like Imim, Achirinsua areas. That's where you can find Newmont, Ghana, Newmont Gold Corp. Now it's in the Ahafo region now. And then you move to the central part of the region. That's where that was redemarcated to form the Bono region. So you have Sunyani, you have Doma, you have Brekum, and then you have Yeah, those areas there. And then the Bono East, that's the northern belt. You have Techiman and Kransa, and then Kentampo areas. Atebubu areas. Pru, Kwabena Donkor's constituency, forming part of that region, with its capital as Techiman. The Bono also has a capital, Sunyani, former regional capital of the Bono Ahafo region. Okay. Now the makeup, let me take the makeup for the various regions. So if you take Ahafo region, you have your typical Akan people in the communities there, and then we have the settler communities. We have the Gonjes, we have Frafra, we have the Mosi people there, and then we have the Basari people. They are, they are about 50% because of the cocoa farms there. The Basaris came there to settle, farmed, help with cocoa farms there. And then you come to the central part, that's the Bono region. Though you find settlers there, they are not that many because of the urbanization there. And you wouldn't see a lot more farms in the area, so it has a lot of the administrative structures there. The former region has its regional administrative offices there. It has all the big hotels you can name. It also has the Coronation Park and a lot more industries there. So you find a lot more urban, people there.
Well,
and then
to correct us a bit, I think that even in the urbanized areas, you find a lot of the settlers too, because those in the region who are also looking for white-collar jobs, who want to also tap into the commerce and industry, they also go to some of those areas. So, for example, if you go to Sunyani, there are a lot of settlers in there, some driving motorbikes, some driving the tricycles, some helping with the market days and the so it really has a lot of these settlers. And if you look at the Pru area coming all the way to Atebubu, Amantim and Sini East, Pru shares a border with Gonja East, East Gonja. So the Yeji is also very close. People from the northern region or northeast coming down easily get access.
That's the Bono East area.
Yes. So it's I think it would also be fair to say that a lot of the indigents, especially the youth, because they aspire to do trading and other sorts of commerce and travel, they are now not paying attention to agric. So if you go on most of the farms, you find people from the north, Savannah, northeast, upper east, upper west, working on the farms. You don't find a lot of the locals. For example, if you go to my place, a lot of people who come to work on our farms are not the locals. The few locals who are farming are working on their own farms. But if you are doing big agriculture, commercial agriculture, you hardly get a lot of locals as farm hands.
So the locals are like the landowners, the farms are for them, but you wouldn't see them typically on the farms. It will be settler, people from the settler communities working on the farms. Those farms. So that has been accounting for the reason why certain areas in the region will vote for a certain party, and then others will also vote for a certain party. So we have about it used to be 21 constituencies from 96 to 2004, and then from 2008 we moved to 24 constituencies, and now it is 29 constituencies. Let me quickly run through the region by region, the constituency. So you look at the Ahafo region, you see Tano North, Tano South, Frida Prempeh's constituency, Tano North, Tano South, Esutufi North, Esutufi South, Esunafo North, and then Esunafo South. That's former Agric Minister Eric Opoku's constituency. Esutufi South, Collins Dauda, the Mugabe of he's been there since when I was a child. And then you come to the Bono region, you have the Brekum East, Brekum West, German North, German South, Banda. Let me.
Sunyani West.
Vivian, you remember 2016 election? You sent me to the Bono Ahafo region. I spent like 2 days in the German North, Siaka Stevens. It borders the I think Ivory Coast. People were crossing to come and vote, and they had to put the election on that.
I remember that.
This year, I wonder what will happen there. Then you come to German South, Doma Central, where we have the current health minister, who was also a former deputy finance minister under Kufuor's regime. I think Kufuor's last term. We have Doma East, Banda Ibrahim Ahmed. You know, Banda will be key in 2020 because of the voter registration skirmishes. One guy was allegedly killed there. It will become key there. And then Wenchi, Professor Jan Bafo, Wenchi is key. Wenchi is the hometown of Buzia, Professor Kofi Abrefa Buzia. He's one of the founding fathers of the NPP from the Buzia tradition. And Professor Jan Bafo, who is a former National Development Commission chairman and also the Minister for National Planning.
So you have quite some key constituencies.
Key constituencies to look at.
Sunyani West, for example, Ignatius Bafuwa, he's currently the Minister of Labour Employment and Labour. He used to be Sunyani MC.
And
he's
then
Deputy Regional Minister
before. Yeah, so his transition started from the Kufuor administration. Kufuor gave him the Bono Ahafo Regional Minister. In fact, he's been in Parliament for over 4 terms.
Yeah, and he's a cabinet member. Expected to pull in votes from Sunyani West, which is also a key home of the likes of J.H. Mensah. And then Teresa Kufuor.
Kufuor's
wife.
Yes.
Former and then, First Lady.
You remember Johnson Esiedun-Gettier has also been a member of Parliament there. So he was in the Tyne area.
And a minister.
The minister as well. Then we have Derek Odro from the... I'm now at the Bono East, so Derek Odro at the Nkransa North. He is Deputy Defence Minister there. Alex Treme, Techiman North, former Deputy Education Minister. He used to be an MC and then he transitioned to become a minister. Techiman South, J. Mensah. You remember under the Rawlings regime, we had the Works and Housing Minister, J. Mensah. A relative of his is now the MP of the area. Then we have Kojo Ajekum from Nkransa South, Kintampo North, Stephen Nkensu, and then Kintampo South, Yao Befi. Let me also go to Atebubu Amante, Sanja Nanja. If when you get Sanja Nanja, then it reminds you of the traditional feud with the settlers. Sanja Nanja is a settler, and then progressed to become the member of Parliament for the area, and then he allegedly makes a remark that is derogatory on the Queen Mother of the area. Already the indigents have in their mind that we are the indigents. Why are people not going to Parliament? But then settlers, they know them. Why should a settler become a member of Parliament? So that feud is there, subtle, but then it pops up anytime. So when Sanja Nanja made that sort of allegation, it didn't really go down well for him. Yes.
Let me say that for viewers, we'll be going into the presidential and the parliamentary discussion proper during the week. So we'll look at all these constituencies they're talking about, the hotspots and the trends and all that around the election. So don't worry, today is the opening.
Then we also have Pru East Kobna Donko.
Yes,
the man who said "Ana power no way." He's from the Pru East, former power minister. And then so as it stands now, the NDC has 9 seats, and then the NPP has 20 seats. So you see where more the urban areas, the Akan-speaking areas will falls for the MPP, and then the settler communities, the NDC.
In fact, if you break it down, if you break the Bono Ahafo into the current 3 regions, Bono East has the most NDC seats in the region. And then if you come up to Bono proper, you realize that in the Bono has a lot of the NPP seats. And then if you go to Ahafo, more NPP, but Ahafo has been going NDC, MPP.
So they alternate. They are part of the swing constituencies. They alternate every year.
Even Bono East, it used to be very heavily NDC, and the MPP started taking out some of the seats. So it will be interesting what happens in the Bono East in 2020, considering the fact that former President Mohammed's wife is from that particular
area.
A lot has been said about the people and how she didn't really bring them the development they expected the First Lady to bring to them. and a lot is being said by former President Mahama about his plans for the area. So if you've noticed, he keeps mentioning the cashew thing whenever he goes to the area, because he knows that it's something people are looking forward to. If you are selling a kilo of cashew for say 8 Ghana cedis about 4 years ago, and now a kilo is going for say 4 cedis 50 pesos. It means people are losing a lot of their incomes.
Yeah.
So
we're
going
to go to hit
that.
the campaign, and I think you've given us an idea, and then we can start the politics of it proper. But before I go to those campaign videos to give viewers an idea of what the 2 main candidates have been telling people in those regions, I'll pick a few of your messages. Maxwell in Kumasi says the government needs to be congratulated for dividing the then Brong-Ahafo region into 3 regions now, because they were lacking most of the basic social amenities, you say. This one says, City TV, please, my name is David from Kwame Danso in Sene West. I'm a cashew farmer myself, and any government that will see to it that the cashew farmer ends well will get my vote. The road to the district capital, Kwame Danso, is dilapidated and nothing is happening. Both parties have cut short for its construction, but it was just for vote. This one says, this is from JYN in #Voters Diary. He's sending us a message from Whole Teaching Hospital. He says, good afternoon to all the panelists. I'm from Sunyani West, Chira to be specific. Shame on you guys. I'm really enjoying the show. I'm amazed with the history about my fatherland. I will plead to authorities to dualize Sunyani to Chira Road for us.
I actually grew up in Chira a bit when we were kids.
I think the Chira Road it's during Kufuor's time. They cut a sword for the dualize, because you know that road will take you to Techiman. It's one of the business centers. So in 2007, President Kufuor cut a sword for the dualization of that stretch. But as we speak, I don't know what has happened to
some of the most painful experiences in my life were in Chira. You walk to Pengosu. That's where we used to go to farm. Pengosu is like walking from here to Tamale.
Wow.
And Chira is you know the Tano River. It passes through Chira, and when you get to Chira, the level of water and the expansion is huge in Chira. So kids in Chira usually go
to Tano.
So they remember Chira, so now they have. And he says, greetings to my MP, the Honorable Bafwewa, and good job, City TV. This one from Azuma, he says, good afternoon, guys. Great analysis. It can never take rocket science for us to realize that both the NDC and the MPP do not think about the Ghanaian. For a crop that ends your country the greatest amount of foreign exchange, I stand to be corrected. How can they be so cruel that they won't fix roads leading to these cocoa farms? This is why we need the Ghana Union movement to put Ghana where we are supposed to be. Okay. And then this
I saw the group office at the Koforidua Lorry Park. Big office. Yeah, branded.
Big there.
The man is from the Eastern region.
Okay. Then Ernest from Koforidua, he says, good afternoon, Vivian. Good job done by you and your panelists. It's been quite a shame when the economy's backbone in this our country are left out, but stands to benefit from sweet promises during campaign times. It's sad. #Voters Diary. I think I'm going to go to the campaign now and go to the former President John Mahama, whose wife is from one of the regions in the 3 created regions under the Brong-Ahafo region, and see what he's been telling people there on the campaign.
You better cashew board. No man can say afi. You better cashew say. Na yato cashew. Sabwana ombeka no seni aye koko no. Seni beya. Cashew no bono entimba from. Debia sra na ebeko. Enti afi bia se de biba kanwa na de akawo. Afi bia se de biba kanwa na de akawo. Na abayan kasa sa cashew board na ebete no. Ebeto cashew na efri mo ho. Na ye the factory. Efidia ye di siese cashew no. E packing ye e de kwama no ne. Ye de beba Bono region ha. The South Factory no beba Bono region na mo cashew a mo beti ni na ye beto ni na na yɛde akɔ saa factory hɔ ne akɔyɛ no sɛnea akwasi broni pɛ no no ne yɛde akɔ ama no ne akɔgye dollars sɛnea yɛ koko yi no nti ɛno nso ɛyɛ nhyehyɛ a yɛde ɛba a ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɛbɛboa akuafoɔ no yie sɛnea mekae no ade asa nneɛma bebree wɔ hɔ anka mɛka ɔka bi kakra a ɛyɛ apprentice asɛm yɛbɛyɛ national apprentice program a yɛbɛfa nkwadaa a ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔmo sua ɔmo nsa no adwuma ne yɛde ɔmo akɔma ɔmo masterfoɔ no ɔmo tisa nka ɔmo bɛtua no aban bɛfa ka no na yɛtua tisa no ama ɔmo masterfoɔ no na sɛnea ɔkaeɛ no sɛnea na yɛyɛ no under less debt saa ɛne ɛbɛyɛ no nkwadaa ne wie a mfidie a ɔmo hia sɛ ɔmde bɛkɔ akɔhyɛ ɔmo brabo ase na yɛde saa mfidie no ama ɔmo na ɔmo so ɔmo akɔpɛ ɔmo beebi na ɔmo asate yɛ ɔmo adwuma nti saa nhyehyɛeɛ no nso wɔ hɔ yɛba a yɛba yi ɛyɛ adwuma ne yɛfrɛ no adwuma pa adwuma asɛm nti ne yɛba yɛwɔ 1 million jobs plan yɛdwen sɛ within 4 years mmɛbu no a ɔmbɛnya adwuma ayɛ ɛyɛ baako 1 million ɛna ɛbɛnya adwuma ayɛ nti wo a woyɛ aberanteɛ anaa ababaawa a wonim sɛ wowɔ nimdie wobɛtumi ayɛ adwuma yɛbɛma wo adwuma ayɛ na ɛyɛ adwuma ahodoɔ yɛwɔ agro processing agri business yɛbɛma mfidie nketewa bi sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ sɛ mɔko a wobɛtumi aprɔsɛse mɔko no na wayɛ no fɛfɛɛfɛ na wapake no na wode kɔ dwom sɛ ɛyɛ nyado a wobɛtumi aprɔsɛse no fɛfɛɛfɛ na wode akɔ dwom sɛ ɛyɛ bankye a yɛwɔ ne ho afidie wobɛtumi ayɛ.
So that's former President John Mahama on the campaign. Let me say that we have a few minutes to end the show. Tomorrow we'll move into the NPP's candidate as well and what they may say. So we'll wrap up today's show with the former President John Mahama on that. Two key things actually running through what he was telling the people: cashew, and then also talking about the food basket and how he intends to, improve things around. Why are these two things a big thing? You've told us, of course, the food basket, but why is the cashew politics now?
Vivian, cashew, because the NDC has learned its lesson from 2016. Remember in 2016, the NDC sort of brought up a policy, cashew domestication. It didn't really play out well for farmers there because they thought that the program was to sort of increase the prices in terms of kilos for local buyers. The typical farmer will sell to an international buyer who is giving him more, returns. But in the domestication program, they sort of encourage local buyers and local processing of cashew. But that wasn't going to give them enough income. So the farmers, were angry at the president, were angry at the then trade minister, Spielgabra. And that also meant that they were going to put on hold cashew exports at the time. So farmers were not happy.
Wow.
So this sort of damage control, let me say, they've learned their lessons, carved policies that will add value to cashew in the area.
Okay.
That's how come they are going heavy on that, because 2016 it was a no-no for them.
I remember 2016 we even spoke to
Spielgabra. What happened was that they said the local cashew processors were not getting enough beans to process. So they were going to put an embargo on exporting cashew so that the local cashew processors would use that window to buy all the cashew they need and the rest would be exported. But the mistake of the government then was that you had not contributed anything to the cashew industry. Some people even pre-sell. They will take money from buyers, and use it to invest in their farm. So when they harvest, the buyers take their share, then the rest they take and sell again. Then you say, no, we won't allow you to sell. When you've not invested anything into the cashew industry. So that was what happened. So now there's a promise of a cashew development board. I don't know how that cashew development board is going to play out since we have a tree crops development authority,
which also looks
because it's looking at coconuts, cashew, and everything. Are we going to cut cashew from their mandates so that we have a standalone
like the cocoa boards,
like cocoa boards. Are you going to do that? So that's what he's saying. So should the NDC win, are you going to continue with Tree Crops Development Authority, or you are going to? So that's a big one. Now this government on cashew says cashew development, the Tree Crop Development Authority will see to the needs of cashew farmers. So we are waiting to see what the farmers need, processing.
Yes.
Because
Seeds.
the cashew nuts, the hard nuts, that's about the main thing that they sell.
Yeah.
The cashew apple, which is about 70% of the weight of your harvest, is thrown away. Recently, GIZ organized a training program for people to add value to cashew. NPP says they are going to invest in TVET and apprenticeship and value addition, small scale enterprises. NDC says they are going to do that. It would be great to know what specifically they will do for the cashew industry. From production to processing to marketing, to enable the cashew farmer enjoy. The same thing is said about cocoa. The average cocoa farmer in Ghana cannot buy chocolate consistently to eat. The average cashew farmer here too cannot buy you know, it's usually in this plastic,
the can or whatever.
Yes, plastic container. The average cashew farmer cannot consistently buy that to eat. So if we say we are going to develop that industry, let's see the fine blueprints as to how we are going to execute whatever we want to give to the industry, so that we move cashew from the $200-300 million to the $500 million to $1 billion that we are looking for, and that a lot of that value will stay in Ghana and enrich the local farmer.
I'm going to give the political parties the benefit of the doubt that I'm sure they have listened to people in the cashew industry, and they've also learned their lessons in terms of the value addition. If we are serious about cashew, we wouldn't pay much attention to cocoa, because cashew is really huge. When you go to the Nkranza, Techiman, Kintampo areas, over 90,000 people are involved in cashew. And if you look at the domino effect of the returns they make. So for me, I think that the political parties, they've learned their lessons. If they've learned their lessons well, or if they've engaged the farmers well, they should come up with a detailed blueprint as to how they are going to
deal with this cashew
thing.
Okay, guys, I have to end here. My time is up. Tomorrow we'll continue this conversation. We'll still be on the campaign trail. Lots of messages from you guys. I'm going to read them tomorrow, because a lot of them questions, a lot of them issues around those three regions. But thank you so much for joining the conversation. And the repeat of this show is at 10 p.m. tonight. We'll return tomorrow at the same time, 3 p.m. Make sure you make a day. Goodbye.